The unimaginable has finally occurred, and the hip-hop community's collective gasp can be heard from Atlanta to New York City. The internet has officially reached its breaking point. Welcome back to the vault, where we keep tabs on all industry secrets and shadows. And at last, has begun to speak from the shadows tonight. We have been witnessing 50 Cent and the Harris family engage in a lethal game of cat and mouse for months. However, the total tactical nuclear that just exploded on our timelines caught everyone off guard. Following allegations that 50 Cent has finally published the long-awaited vault footage involving King Harris, the headlines are screaming and social media is in a state of pure unadulterated hysteria. However, people's disbelief isn't limited to the footage. The planet has gone into a tailspin because to King Harris's stated response. According to a plethora of reports, King Harris purportedly came forth with a statement that left both fans and critics utterly stunned in a moment of utter despair or possibly a rebellious act of truth. According to the rumors, King Harris said, "Yes, I am gay," after was leaked. The impact of their remarks is being referred to as the last curtain call for his career. We are discussing a career that was already precarious. However, this alleged admission, following 50 Cent's brutal expose, has sparked a fire that no public relations team can put out, as everyone attempts to confirm whether this is the end of the Harris dynasty as we know it. Fans are shocked and the internet atmosphere is a mixture of incredulity and heated speculation, as word spread that the gritty street persona King Harris had worked so hard to establish had apparently broken beneath the weight of 50 Cent's planned strike. Emotions ran high among the Atlanta elite. We look at the purported footage tonight. The world believes that King's career is over because to the supposed confession and the severe impact from. Keep an eye out because is evolving beyond rap feud. We are currently dissecting every explosive element of this complete destruction of a legacy. The Harris family was totally taken aback by the rumors, which began as a quiet hum in the shadowy corners of the internet before erupting into a thunderous boom. Several news sources that have been making the rounds this week claim that 50 Cent eventually made the decision to release the vault, and what was revealed was a clip that purportedly showed King Harris in an unexpected situation. According to industry insiders, the video was taken at a high-end private gathering where secrets were prevalent and the air was heavy with the scent of costly cologne and treachery. The stories depict a young man who looked entirely different from the violent rebel we see on Instagram Live. Shocking fans. King Harris is shown having private and in-depth discussions in these alleged tapes, which imply a lifestyle very different from the trap house storylines he frequently promotes in his songs. When 50 Cent allegedly shared a clip with the comment, "I told you the truth was messy," the fallout was immediate and it was brutal. The animosity in the business allegedly reached a fever pitch. According to reports, T.I. stopped everything to deal with the music situation in his home when he was in the middle of a recording session. The Harris family was split because some members felt pressured by the internet world, while others sought to reject everything. There was too much evidence to ignore. When Tiny Harris allegedly approached King in a furious altercation that was overheard by multiple employees at their estate, emotions were running high. According to reports, Tiny was sobbing and questioning her son about why he would place himself in a situation where their family's fiercest adversary could take advantage of him, before allegedly snapping and telling his mother that he was sick of life for the sake of a brand he no longer even believed in. King reportedly remained silent. According to the sources, this served as the catalyst for the year's most contentious assertion. According to the accounts, King Harris made the decision to seize control of the story in the most startling way imaginable. As they gained traction, numerous blogs and social media observers claim that King made a comment that shocked the hip-hop industry before swiftly removing it. The remark allegedly said, "Yes, I am gay, and if you don't like it, then stay away from me," with millions of individuals attempting to confirm whether the message was authentic, or whether King's account had been compromised by the Gunnet camp. The internet descended into a complete meltdown, because 50 Cent's psychological warfare pushed King into a corner where he thought he had no option but to strike out with a confession that would ruin his life forever. It is being called a masterclass in reputation damage. A young man who felt abandoned by the industry that brought him up is shown in the news reports. Supporters are divided, with some praising his alleged candor. Others, however, contend that King's career is over since the hip-hop culture still struggles with identity and authenticity. According to the sources, a number of significant promoters have already begun removing King's name from forthcoming tour dates out of concern that the dispute will dominate the music and result in demonstrations or poor ticket sales. The local legends who formerly viewed King as the future of the South are now distancing themselves to save their own brands. which is why the atmosphere in Atlanta is described as gloomy. According to reports, T is distraught. By the way, 50 Cent has used his own son as a weapon to destroy the reputation of his family. According to the reports, the Grand Hustle headquarters is currently experiencing a complete media blackout while attempts to come up with a response to an unexpected confession. As the father tries to make amends with the son he raised, the conversation between King and T is said to be icy and full of profound disappointment. According to the article, King told his father that he was done trying to be a king and that he just wanted to be a human being, even if it meant losing everything. In light of the current global news, the enormous generational divide and the emotional stakes that are currently pulling the Harris family apart are highlighted in this reported conversation. According to reports, 50 Cent is watching the pandemonium with a grim feeling of satisfaction, knowing that he has attained a degree of success that transcends both cash accounts and music charts. According to reports, he informed his colleagues that the Harris family was already a house of cards waiting for a small breeze to blow through. So he didn't even need to do much more. Film, including audio recordings of King Harris, Allegedly, discussing the particular industry parties and the people he met there, was rumored to be in the vault. The entire entertainment business is in a state of fear as a result of the report's suggestion that these recordings may incriminate additional well-known celebrities. In the 50 Cent's long game, everyone is glancing over their shoulder to see whether they are the next target. According to reports, King Harris's psychological damage is becoming apparent as he has been spotted in public appearing worn out and overwhelmed by the fans and critics' constant scrutiny. According to the allegations, he believes that music is his only way out of the darkness cast by the leak and the alleged confession that has defined his new existence. The distinction between private truth and public entertainment has completely vanished, leaving the industry at a crossroads. According to the reports, T and King are engaged in a silent battle of their own, and Tiny is the only one attempting to keep the family together. Fans on Twitter and TikTok engage in a harsh exchange of memes and thoughtful discussions over the Harris legacy's future. According to some accounts, King's career is dead because of how he was exposed upon arrival rather than his identity, but others think that this song might be a turning point for the business to fully embrace transparency. On the ground, however, things are even more problematic because the Harris family's brand is losing value every hour. According to the sources, a number of upscale fashion labels that were considering King for future ads have formally moved on, citing the current scandal as a significant risk factor. According to reports, King's inner turmoil is at an all-time high as he witnesses his aspirations of becoming a solo star vanish in real time. He apparently said in a close friend that he had no idea the aftermath would be so intense or so intimate. According to the story, King Harris is portrayed as a victim of 50 Cent's own ambition for stardom and his lack of street smarts. According to the allegations, the vault footage was edited with a cinematic flair, giving every word and every glance the sensation of a scene from a suspenseful film. As the rumors of part 2 of the footage started to spread, the industry is anxiously awaiting 50 Cent's camp's next update. According to sources, the Harris family is preparing a big legal counterattack to sue 50 Cent for violating his privacy, but no lawyer can ever repair the harm to his reputation. The Harris children are caught in the midst of a conflict. According to the reports, the pressure of their father's alleged rage and their brother's alleged confession did not begin to affect them. 50 Cent's psychological warfare is perceived as the final retaliation for years of hostility and contempt from the Atlanta camp. According to claims from the Atlanta camp, the Harris name will be permanently tarnished for future generations as a result of the leaked tape and the alleged admission that yes, I am gay. The world is currently paralyzed as they wait to see what the next chapter of this tragic tale will reveal. And the business is in complete shock as they witness the fall of a dynasty in high definition. According to industry insiders, King Harris is currently in a condition of complete psychological collapse, suggesting that the consequences from the leaked footage has transferred from the screen into the real world. The alleged admission of yes, I am gay has left the Grand Hustle camp completely vulnerable, according to multiple news outlets keeping an eye on the Atlanta hip-hop scene. According to the rumors, Tiny Harris broke down in tears about how her son's life is being destroyed by his father's oldest competitor when she entered a high-level conference with legal specialists. According to reports, Tiny blames and the industry as a whole for pushing her son to the point where felt he had to confess to a secret identity just to get away from the strain. The conversation that emerged from these private sessions is said to be sad. According to reports, 50 Cent is taking advantage of the situation by sharing more mysterious pictures that allude to a second section of the vault data. According to reports, King Harris is shown in a much more private setting in this second wave of footage, when he purportedly talks about his genuine thoughts regarding the Manly Street image he felt compelled to present for years. As these tales spread, fans are taken aback since they depict a young man leading a double life in order to uphold his father's legacy. According to news sites, T hasn't spoken to his kids since the supposed confession, thus the emotional stakes are reportedly heartbreaking. According to reports, the Harris household's tension is described as a complete quiet that is louder than any quarrel, and the internet T is having difficulty balancing his own ideals with the reality of the headlines. According to the sources, a number of King's erstwhile street pals in Atlanta have already released statements distancing themselves from him, saying that the revelation has prevented them from maintaining their business relationships. According to sources, King's career is ended since the very people he was supposed to represent suddenly abandoned him, because 50 Cent did more than simply leak a video. His psychological warfare is being referred to be a masterpiece of industry ruin. He supposedly caused his rival's family to have a complete identity problem. According to reports, King Harris was spotted at a nearby airport attempting to escape the city to get away from the fans and paparazzi's unrelenting stares. As he apparently told a passerby that he simply wanted to be himself for once, he appeared worn out and defeated. As the news cycle continues to spin reports that 50 Cent has an even more explosive recording in which King Harris allegedly discusses the particular gay parties mentioned in the previous documentary rumors, bloggers are using this reported dialogue to support the narrative that King was never at ease in the world of grand hustle. If these rumors are accurate, King Harris would be implicating an entire network of people in the music industry in addition to admitting his personal truth, since nobody knows who else might be caught on the alleged vault tapes. There is a tangible sense of terror in the entertainment industry. According to sources, the Harris family is attempting to change the narrative to support family and raise awareness of mental health issues. But the public appears to be too preoccupied with the wars, and we observe as the wars divert our attention. The conversation in the comment sections is a vicious battlefield, with some people making fun of the Harris family for losing control of their son and others showing genuine worry for King's welfare. The other Harris children are also being impacted by the emotional tension. Reports indicate that they are being bullied at school and social gatherings because of their brother's alleged confession. Since the reports indicate that this is the first time the industry is observing this with a sick curiosity, a personal truth has been used as a weapon to demolish a legacy in real time. This narrative is particularly heartbreaking because it shifts from a typical rap quarrel to a battle for a young man's soul. According to reports, T2I's mentors are advising him to be kind and encouraging to his son in public. However, the reports indicate that he is finding it difficult to heed such advice because of the personal betrayal he feels. With every new development, the Harris empire is now a divided house. Report making an issue that is difficult to resolve even more complicated. According to reports, 50 Cent is tracking the interaction figures on his posts while listening to music in his high-rise office reach all-time highs with the knowledge that has permanently altered the terms of engagement. According to his alleged conversation with his team, he believes he has already succeeded in demonstrating to the world that the Harris family is not the untouchable dynasty they claim to be. According to the accounts, King Korea is no longer in power because his truth was exploited as a weapon of retaliation during a conflict. Not because of who he is. He was never ready for combat. The world is currently awaiting King's official statement. However, the story implies that his own fear of the consequences has silenced him. As the industry gets ready for the purported release of Part 3 of the vault footage, which is rumored to include the last and most damaging evidence of the internal Harris family collapse, tension is rising. According to the sources, there is a scene where fans are literally holding their breath as they check their feeds every minute to see if the next update will bring more clarity or more turmoil to a story that has already redefined what it means to be terrible. According to the article, as the family reaches a point of ultimate reckoning, the last phase of this industry-shattering tale is presently taking place inside the tall walls of the Harris complex. The final part of the vault film is described as a complete emotional collapse in which King Harris allegedly breaks down in front of the camera. According to several sources who have been following 50 Cent's digital breadcrumbs, according to the rumors, King supposedly speaks directly to his father in this last recorded moment, stating that he could no longer pretend to be the person the world wanted him to be because the weight of the crown was too much. The purported footage depicts a young guy who was driven to the brink by the very legacy he was meant to inherit, shocking fans. According to the news sources, King Harris sent a confidential message to his team after the leak, claiming that King's career is dead since he is choosing his peace over the approval of the industry, with Tiny Harris allegedly serving as the last line of defense between her husband and her son. The emotional stakes have reached a breaking point. According to reports, Tiny angrily informed T that they couldn't afford to lose him to his own reality, because they had already lost their kid to the streets. According to reports, the discussion from these alleged family gatherings is raw, with years of buried hatred suddenly spilling to the surface. The industry is responding to the reports with a combination of quiet and skepticism as they gain traction across prominent entertainment blogs. According to reports, a number of well-known Atlanta rappers who previously supported the Harris family are erasing past pictures and collaborations out of concern that their own reputation, in a town that is still very traditional, may be negatively impacted by their alleged admission that they are gay. According to the sources, 50 Cent has not just targeted T in order to attain a degree of complete supremacy's reputation, but by destroying his family's future. According to insiders, T is apparently in a state of intense introspection as a result of the psychological warfare. He has reportedly been spotted alone in his former neighborhood, trying to understand how his life's work became the setting for such a tragic and public disclosure. According to the rumor, 50 Cent has one last disclosure in the vault that purportedly depicts the Harris' inner circle's response upon learning that the film was available. Anyone who has ever been connected to the Grand Hustle brand has had a persistent sense of dread as a result of this layer of reporting. According to reports, the Harris family is thinking of completely removing themselves from the spotlight for the rest of the year in order to mend and rebuild their relationship away from the spotlight. However, the allegations indicate that 50 Cent is not finished because he supposedly hinted that King Harris was only the start of a much greater industry exposure, and that the vault is deeper than anyone knows. The conversation in the hip-hop community has changed, from making fun of people to realizing that, in the era of digital retaliation, nobody is really secure.